Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Jaw Jackin. I'm your host, Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels of the daily cyber threat brief with Dr. Gerald Osher. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to be doing Ask Me Anything AMA. Before we get into it, I do want to tag Joel Gallant for the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Joel, holler at me. Let me know if you're there. Take care, Alpha Sierra. I don't see Joel Gallant in chat. All right, so we're going to do AMA questions. I'm up here helping you all out, doing what I can, being part of the community. Suyukti, the intro music to the Jaw Jackin. I'm not sure. I made that like 6 months ago, and I just grabbed an audio from somewhere. I'd have to research it. I'm sorry. So Timothy Wilson says, Dr. Jerry, what certs are needed for third-party risk analyst and vulnerability analyst jobs? So if I had to take a guess, Timothy Wilson, I would say, when you say what certs are needed, remember, a job posting, the people who work at the job or the company, they're the ones defining what certs are needed. This isn't like medicine or law where you have to have certain certifications that are required by law to practice that profession. I will say, in order to distinguish yourself, I would think the ISACA, CISA, that is an auditor certification that's pretty good. I have it, or I let it expire, but I had it. It was great. I think it's pretty appropriate for people getting into early parts of GRC career. I would go get that. Also, Timothy Wilson, it's not really a cert that anyone would require, but I do want to point it out since you said vulnerability analyst. This is a exposure management course, which is basically vulnerability management that I made that you can take for free. This is a full, really sick course, and you get you do get a Credly badge and CPEs. So if you want, there's the badge you get. If you're interested, Timothy Wilson, this is free education that many people in the community have taken and have enjoyed. So don't sleep on that. I'm very proud of the work that I put into that course. All right, keeping it going. Oh, okay. So, hey, Joel Gallant is not in chat right now, but we do have confirmation that Joel Gallant will be the Simply Cyber Community baton holder. So let's go, Joel. Go look for his post later today. Upgrading Jeff says, any ETA on the framework parenting in the digital age video? Jeff, I do not have an update on that. Let me put it on my book. Here's the thing, I don't have an update on that, but let me tell you guys a couple things. One, I want to do the NIST CSF 2.0 video. There's an issue with one of the labs in the Cyber 101 course. Somebody, I think it was Nicole, had asked for a takedown request video. A lot of people have asked for the Jaw Jackin to get carved out and reposted to SC Cafe. I'm getting ready for the TV show. I have a lot going on, and I know you weren't trying to push me, Upgrading Jeff. I do know people want the parenting video. It's on my radar. It's just I don't have a lot of time. Plus, I've been really, really super focused, almost as a mini project. I want to share this with you because this is almost done. This will probably be done in the next week. I put this thing together, right? So a lot of people are pivoting from a career like marketing, Brady McNulty in pharmacy, Heath, oh my God, Heath Adams for accounting. Many of you in the community have pivoted from some non-IT job into it. And there's a lot of people like that. So I wanted to make a resource for those people. And I've been working on this. And this is one part of the resource package I built. But it's this cheat sheet But dude, this thing is outrageous. Not only do I provide all these resources, but I like literally made a whole collection of videos where I walk through, hold on, come on. I walk through all of the resources themselves. Come on. Let's go, bro. I go through all the resources themselves and show you basically not only here's the list of the resources, for example, like all of these, but like here's why you would use them and here's what parts of the resources, because it was brought to my attention that when you get a list like this and someone clicks on like netacad.com, you're like, oh, this is great, but what the hell sorry, Kennedy. This is great, but now what? What do I do now? So what I did is I made a video of like, like basically like click here, then download here, then install here, and it'll look like this. All right. So that's like another thing that's coming that I'm super pumped about. I made a video. You can see I made a video for every single section. And this is almost done. Like this is really close to done. And I'm super excited to share that with everybody pretty soon. So hopefully that makes people feel good and get a little amped up for some of the things that are on their way. All right, keeping it going. Gary Sturgiotis, I know it's not Tidbits Tuesday, but how is Jerry doing these days? Running, going well? I haven't been running as much, Gary. I might run today. Let me look at my calendar. I do want to run. I've probably been running 2 days a week. I prefer to run like 3 to 4. The weather's been kind of trashy. I do have an opening in my schedule today, so Gary, I will go for a run today. I do have a wicked sick update for those who have been tracking. So there's a band that I absolutely love called The Midnight, and they are playing a tour, and they're coming nearby. And I was gonna buy tickets for me and my family and everything, and I found out that like basically, I have young kids, 8 and 11, and I found out that like the venue, like basically I don't want to bring my kids to a concert where like we're in the front row and my kids are going to want to go to the bathroom and then I got to take them through there and then getting back up to the front where my wife would be. I just didn't want to deal with any of that, right? So I had to pass on that. Well, Casually Joseph made me aware that they have opened up a very special area for the concert where you can buy, like basically you can buy a table, like it's almost like bottle service. Like you can buy a table and you get like a special area with seating and everything. And it's a little pricey, but it is the solution to my problem. I called the venue last night and I spoke to one of the managers there and I explained to him like what my deal was. And he's like, oh no, bro. He's like, we got you covered. It's the perfect solution for you. So it's back on. We're going. I'm going to go catch the concert, brah. So anyways, I'm super pumped about that, Gary. Thank you for asking, Gary, about my well-being. Ricardo Garcia says, I'm transitioning from construction project manager to a cyber role like SOC. How can I fill in the experience gap? I do have Sec Plus, Linux Plus, and just obtained Splunk Cert. All right, Ricardo Garcia, I've got you. Stay tuned, Ricardo Garcia. Look at this. All right, I'm going to drop this, but dude, Ricardo, this is the perfect answer for you, okay? Give me a second. I have a whole SOC differ section in this cheat sheet. Oh my God, man. Why is this like so slow? I hate. All right. So, I'm not like, you can use all these resources, but what I want to call your attention to, Ricardo, is this right here. This is like definitely a solid answer. This is Eric Capuano's So You Want to Be a SOC Analyst intro. Eric Capuano, this guy right here, he's a really accomplished blue teamer, great educator, SANS instructor, and he wrote this 6-part blog post series on basically building this home lab. And you'll basically build the whole lab. You'll basically throw attacks. You'll build a C2 infrastructure. You'll do detection engineering. You'll do detection tuning. You'll write Yara rules. You'll do all the things that a SOC analyst would do. This lab alone is unbelievable. And Ricardo, if you're feeling a little intimidated, don't sweat it, because I got a video for that. This video right here, dude, is a 45-minute step-by-step click walkthrough of me building and executing the first 4 out of 6 parts of this lab. You could, like, there's no reason you can't accomplish and get wild value from it, because I literally do it step by step. So any challenge you might encounter, the video will address. And then if you want to know how you can convey what you learn in the lab into like meaningful impact statements, resume bullets, here's Eric Capuano. He came on my show, and for 1 hour, we talked about this lab and how you can take this lab and level up like an absolute rock star. That's what's up. So let me drop a link in chat for you, Ricardo. I hope this serves you well. And also, reminder, like you'll get access to all these resources. This will be available for everybody to download. Like I said, I'm almost done with it. I want it to be cool. All right. I don't want to do anything kind of half butt. All right. All right. Thank you for the question, Ricardo. Dev Mommy. I like that name, Dev Mommy. How likely that a threat actor sends a QR code scanned in the supply chain and infects that way? A lot of scanners are integrated into inventory software. Is it even worth to try and prevent? So that's a good question. A lot of times QR codes are scanned by the email security gateway. We have seen instances where an email security gateway was compromised by scanning the QR code, or maybe it was just a URL. But the thing is, Dev Mommy, the email security gateway would have to have a vulnerability that could be exploited by the QR code, not just like it scans a QR code and like goes somewhere. A lot of times you got to remember, like the threat actor is sending a QR code, hoping that it'll pass through a security gateway without getting checked. And then a victim won't know where it's going, and they'll just scan it because it says like, there's free tickets, or your account's going to be terminated or whatever. And then you scan it, and then it goes to like a lookalike landing page, right? And they're trying to trick you that way. So let me see, exploit scanning URL. I just want to pull up this story really quickly. Yeah, so like really quick, Dev Mommy, like you could see when I just look it up, a lot of the stories are like using QR codes to pass defenses because the scanner is unable, the security gateway is unable to validate and review the destination of the QR code. There was one instance just a few weeks ago, though. Yeah, this isn't it, but this is interesting. BSEC on Thursday, on Tuesday, on Thursday. BSEC was talking just yesterday. God, it feels like last week, around getting a compromised host in an environment and then emailing people from within the environment. People are doing it this way. I can't find it right now, but there was an instance recently of a security gateway solution that was exploited by scanning a URL. So I hope, Dev Mommy, that answers your question. Amish Runaway, Simply Cyber, I want to do bug bounties and ethical hacking. I looked at CAH, but if you have to recommend one cert for that, one cert for bug bounties. Ooh. So bug bounties can come in a couple different flavors, Amish Runaway, right? Bug bounties are typically finding vulnerabilities or bugs in systems. Now, bug bounties, you could find a bug in a mobile app. You could find a bug in an operating system. You could find a bug on a network, or you could find a bug in a web application, which is really the most common one. So if I had to give you some guidance, what I would say is there's not really any particular cert, but relative to penetration testing and bug bounties, ethical hacking, and such, I would recommend you get practical hands-on skills. Like definitely the most valuable is hands-on practical skills. You don't need to have a certification in anything in order to do bug bounties. Like anyone can sign up at HackerOne right now or BugCrowd right now and start hacking away on like Marriott.com. So you really don't need any certs. I think it's more about what training do you need? I would offer, since I just did all this, don't worry, Amish Runaway. I've got an entire section for web application security, which is really a niche of bug bounties. And the resources I would recommend, right? This Portswigger Academy is awesome. A lot of practitioners who do web application security testing do use Burp Suite as their main tool. This is really, really worth doing it. Nahamsek's got a lot of content on his channel around doing recon and attack surface, which is kind of the first phase of the cyber kill chain, basically. So I hope that is helpful. What's his face? Heath Adams, TCM Academy's PEH course is phenomenal. Phenomenal. The practical ethical hacking one. And since you're just looking for bugs, you're not going to see, like with bug bounty, it's not like you find a bug, exploit it, go into their system and start rooting around looking for domain controllers and stuff like that. So you really only need to understand, kind of how to like find bugs in the attack surface, exposed attack surface. All right. Yeah, that's true. Casually Joseph is going to be there. Marlon Johnson. What's up, Marlon? Good to see you. Currently job hunting for a GRC role. Welcome to the family, Marlon. I love GRC. A CEO saw my resume, courtesy of my network, and offered to have a virtual chat with me. I'm nervous. How would you steer that conversation? Marlon, I would say don't. So what I would say, Marlon, is don't be intimidated by it, okay? And don't be nervous about it. I understand why you're nervous. Certainly, I understand why you're nervous. But think about it as an opportunity to understand this is what I would say. Understand what is the CEO's needs, right? You're not trying to force him to buy your services as a GRC analyst. You want to understand, hey, what challenges are you having? I mean, obviously, you said you want a GRC analyst. What challenges are you having? Remember, the best way to, in my opinion, to like sell a job or sell yourself on a job. Because remember, a job interview, a resume, you're marketing yourself. You're trying to convey to the buyer, AKA the business, AKA the CEO, that you are the solution to their problem. You can help them with their issues, right? Not that you can take their money. That's kind of implied. You can help them. So I would be like, hey, what for GRC, I'd be like, hey, what's your information security program look like? What's your biggest concerns? How are you using information security training? What's your current solution for infosec? Like, are you outsourced? Are you doing any type of security operations? Would you be interested if they have no information security? Would you be interested in or you could say, hey, if it was me, since you have no information security, I would be pro rolling out CIS 18 controls as kind of a starter framework to kind of get our legs under us. That's what I would do, Marlon. Try to be of service to this dude. Also, I hope this is super legit, but I just want to remind people that there is a lot of fraudsters and scammers out there where they'll, just keep your antenna up, Marlon. If the guy wants to do a phone interview, but he wants you to download and install some quirky tool so he can test your skills, or some quirky tool that you never heard of for the conversation, that could be a problem. We just saw in yesterday's news, Lazarus Group has been doing that quite a bit, tricking people. There's a-holes out there, frankly, and unfortunately, they suck. So, all right, let's really quickly pause for a quick ad roll. Cyber 101, my course, I just want to share with everybody, let them all know about it. And then we'll get back to answering Valentino's question. Are you looking to pivot your career into something more secure and exciting? Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Dozier, and I'm here to guide you into the world of cybersecurity. Now, whether you're 25 or 45, switching careers can be intimidating and challenging, especially into cybersecurity, which has an overwhelming amount of roles and disciplines. Now, based on my 20 years of industry experience and years of teaching at the Citadel Military College, I've designed and built Cybersecurity 101 to be your one-stop launchpad to new beginnings. Cybersecurity 101 offers over 22 hours of video content, 100 plus lessons, 12 hands hands-on labs, all starting from the basics. So whether you have IT experience or not, I've got you covered. This course was designed as a comprehensive college-level curriculum and should take about 3 months to complete at 4 hours a week. Try it out and see for yourself. I've made some of the lectures and labs available to access without paying anything so you can see what's going on. Take the first step towards your new career. Visit simplycyber.io/cyber101 to learn more and enroll in Cybersecurity 101. Your future in cybersecurity starts today. All right, we're back. Thank you very much for checking that out. Looking at the questions, Valentino says, did you do a shout out for Matt Clayton's Sec Plus win? I did not. What's up, Matt Clayton? Way to crush that Sec Plus. Keep crushing, man. Keep crushing. Great job, Matt. And thank you, Valentino, for recognizing that I didn't catch that one. Lazaro, any cyber event you're excited for this year? Also, how are you doing, Dr. Ogier? Hey, Lazaro, thanks for asking. I'm doing really good. I'm in a great headspace. Love my family. Looking forward to the weekend, frankly. Super excited to get this cheat sheet out and share it with y'all. Cyber event I'm excited for. Yeah, guys, Wild West Hackin' Fest. The second Wild West Hackin' Fest ends, I'm already excited for next year's Wild West Hackin' Fest. Not everybody's going to get to go to Wild West Hackin' Fest. It is a smaller conference. It is hard to get to, but I have the really distinguished privilege to be able to keynote this year's Wild West Hackin' Fest. I last year received the Rita Award at the conference unexpectedly. I was unaware that I was going to receive it. It's just that conference has a very special place in my heart. And I love it. I love it. I get to see Jesse Johnson. Normally Kimberly Can-Fix-It's there. Josh Mason. I mean, just so many. Casually Joseph, we were high-fiving up in there. Ms. Julian. Like, it's so good. It's like Gary Sturgiadis. We did a Simply Cyber meetup that was super sick. I love that event. And, you know, Black Hills runs it and all the Black Hill teams there. Obviously, Deb and Jason are there at the airport when you get there. It's just, it's so good. Matthew Netchie, where can we get the cheat sheet? Matthew, you're going to have to wait probably next week. This thing is super close to done. The amount of value in this cheat sheet is redonkulous. Alana Boyajian, if you go to Wild West Hackin' Fest, wildwesthackinfest.com. I don't know if registration's open yet, but hey, by the way, not only, here's a little fun fact. Not only, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Alana, here's the link, okay? Not only am I going to be there and keynote, but Simply Cyber is sponsoring. We're going to have a booth. We're going to have Jesse Johnson and Slay Security is going to be kind of in the booth with me. We're going to be live streaming from the booth. We're going to be doing fun stuff. Simply Cyber is doing one of the sponsor Stampede things. Dude, it's just awesome. Like, I can't get enough. Like, I'm like that jerk who's like, you know, it's like, please take one candy at Halloween when you're a kid. I'm the jerk when it comes to Wild West Hackin' Fest. I'm like taking all the candies and running away, and like candies are just dropping out of my arms, and I'm like, yee! Like just a delirious child. Oh, I love Wild West Hackin' Fest. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, this is how much I love Wild West Hackin' Fest. I just got like buffer overflowed by them. So anyways, yeah, the cheat sheet's going to come out next week. A massive amount of awesome, what I think is awesome resources. And really, I'm telling you, these videos I did that explains how to maximize the value of each resource. I think that's really the key differentiator between here's a list of resources that you can get in a lot of places, and having someone explain like, dude, when you click on these resources, this is what you should be using it for. This is the value of it, etc. Right? Like, come on. Like, I'm getting impatient with myself here. Right? So it's like a mini, like, you know, and most of the resources are accessible. On top of that, really quickly, in case anyone's curious, like, I have another thing that you're going to get because I didn't think it was enough. So I built this cyber career job hunt pivot kit. Like, so many people are trying to pivot, and I feel like they're getting confused or frustrated or frankly overwhelmed with the sheer amount of resources. So I built this too, which will be coming to all y'all. But basically, I answered what I think are the 4 questions that people have when they're trying to like pivot in. So this pivot kit goes into great detail on how to do all these things one after another, right? So, and you could see, just to give you a little teaser, like here's a video of 20 roles. I go through 20 different roles. How do I find jobs? Come on. Like, dude, the scroll on this is brutal. You're brutal. You're killing me. All right. So compelling resume, how to crush interviews. All right. Enough. I'm not trying to bore you guys. I'm just super excited. I just don't want to bore you with the details, but look for that. Basically, it'll be like an email thing where you sign up and you get the checklist, and then I wait a little bit, and then I send you the pivot kit because I don't want to just like overwhelm you. Stones fan says, when are you coming to Scottsdale? I'll actually be in Scottsdale March 17th. March 17th, 18th, 19th. Catch me on tour in Scottsdale, March 17th. No, I'm going to do a speaking engagement in Scottsdale, but I'll be there. Stones fan. Hey, let me check my flights and stuff. Maybe there could be like a high five on Sunday night, potentially. All right. Let me see. How are we doing on time? 9:27. We're good. What is your preferred bug bounty platform? Jenny Housley asks. You know, I've always been privy to HackerOne. Honestly, I know BugCrowd is another popular one. Integrity is the one if you live in Europe. But for me, as a U.S. based, I like HackerOne. Here, allow me to authenticate without sharing my screen. Oh, I have to log into my Bitwarden. I don't want to do that right now. So anyways, yeah, HackerOne is my jam. Let me know. Hey, if people in chat use bug bounties, let me know. Is Tyler Ramsby still in chat? Be curious what he likes. All right. But by the way, hey, really quickly, shout out before we get too close to the end of the stream. Much love to the mod team. The mods, loving it. Thank you guys so very much. Eric Taylor jumping in, Justin, Jenny, Casually Joseph, Kimberly and Chad, BSEC, screen capping all these questions and dropping them so I can not fuddle around with the chat and look like a donkey up here, but actually just quickly deliver hot takes on the questions you guys have. Much love. Shout out, obviously, Base Case, as always. Guys, thank you. And Jesse, I'm sure I... All right, here we go. Let's say there's Gil Zilberstein says a question. Let's say I hear that there's a new CV, for example, CV 2024-0628. How can I explore them and learn how they made? I hope it's a legit question. Yeah, let's take a look here. All right, so let me find a CVE. I don't know if this particular one is out there. Let me see. So this hypothetical CVE, let's take a look at it. Now, you said, how can I explore it? The first thing I would do, and I think I know the gist of your question here, but the first thing I would do is figure out what this vulnerability is, okay? So this vulnerability doesn't look like it's a high vulnerability, which is okay. It's a server-side request forgery in all versions of WordPress, version including 4.2.3.5 via the RSS feed. Okay, so here's what I would do, Gil. First and foremost, I would stand up a WordPress instance with a known vulnerable version with this RSS aggregator plugin. Basically, build the lab that has the vulnerable thing that you know you can attack, right? Then I would start looking around at references. If you don't know anyone, like say you're like, let's just say that you don't know how to exploit it, right? The next thing I would do is go right here. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, NIST. I do love NIST. How kind is it of NIST to say thank you for visiting? The next thing I would do, Gil, is I would go directly to this plugin page where the update is, right? And I would look at the change log. Here is the change log. This change log is going to explain what they fixed. From this information, you should be able to walk back and figure out what they fixed so you can pinpoint exactly where the problem was. And now you can just focus on that issue and exploit it, or understand how to exploit it, right? That's what I would do if I was trying to look at it. It's a completely legit question. You're asking how to do security research, right? Now, I mean, if you turn around and write an exploit and then go attack people, that's not okay. But, unfortunately, the techniques good guys use is the same the bad guys use. Derek Marsh says, hey, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the C-Risk cert, which is the ISC squared risk cert, I believe. I never thought I would want to work in GRC until I watched your video with Erica McDuffie. I'm looking at the C-Risk cert, but not sure where to start. Hey, listen. Couple things I would say. First of all, Derek, GRC is awesome. Second of all, I am on a mission. I need to get like a neon scrolling sign back here that says making GRC socially acceptable since 2022. GRC is the bee's knees, bro. Like GRC, super important. It gets a lot of shade thrown on it, especially by the the operators in the space, but whatever. They can have their shade throwing. As far as C-Risk cert goes, nah, that's fine. I would recommend the ISACA CISA, but at the end of the day, Derek, the value of a cert only corresponds to what the market is asking for, right? So like if a market doesn't, here, let me show you really quickly. I just looked up GRC analyst jobs. Hold on, I need one that actually has like a job listing. Give me a second. All right, so here's a GRC job really quickly. Now look, you scroll down, you look through the job, and I'm looking at it right now. Qualifications. None of these qualifications mention C-Risk. They don't mention any certification, frankly. So my point is, like, yes, you could get these certs. I think the CISA one particularly is well recognized within the GRC space personally, but there's no point in breaking your back to get a cert if no job is asking for it. You know what I mean? So I think you would be better served learning more tactical execution of the role and being able to speak to the role, because that's what a hiring manager is going to be turned on by when you are talking. Tyler Ramsby's in the house. Welcome. Tyler Ramsby's entered the chat. Remember, everybody, 2 p.m. today, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Tyler will be getting after it with John Hammond. All right. Hey, just really quickly, for all those who are having FOMO for not going to a con, I know this is how you feel. I'm sorry. This is how I feel about Hackspace Con. I'm not going to Hackspace Con, and I feel this way. But just know that you're seen. Just know that I see you. All right. Just know that I see you, okay? I see you. All right, let's keep going. Jerry must all right. Hey, want some insider info on Wild West Hackin' Fest? We're having one in Denver in next February. Ooh, Deb Wigley dropping or spilling the tea. Guys, I teach 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm hip. I'm down with the lingo. Deb Wigley spilling the tea in here. Don't tell anyone. The 260 of us in here, don't tell anyone. Wild West Hackin' Fest. By the way, can we just get a hi to Deb Wigley? Hi to Deb Wigley. Deb Wigley, one of the amazing people over at Black Hills, and just an amazing person. Let's give Deb some love. What's a good? You know what, Deb? We don't use this emote nearly enough. Do I even have it? Deb Wigley, toasty. All right. When's the drop for the pivot info? Team GRC Masterclass alum. AG Nas, thanks for the question. Probably next week. Basically, it's going to be one of those ones where you like sign up to get it sent to you. Very similar to the way my book, my 10 Steps to Unlocking a Cyber Career book was. You'll sign up and then it'll send you an email with the kit. You download the kit, you get going, and then the cheat sheet. And then I think the next day I send the kit to you. And then the next day after that, I send you a whole bunch of case studies of people who have pivoted in to get you inspired and amped up, etc. All right. So I will tell everybody about it next week. I promise you. Josh Mason, always a great mod. You know, I love the whole mod team. Inevitably, whenever I mention mods by name, I always forget one or two, and then I feel like a total jackwagon. So this is so dumb. Thank you. I know I am so dumb. I'm sorry. Che says, can you talk about immutable backups and how successful corps have used it to avoid paying ransom to decrypt their systems? Yeah, I mean, I don't have any actual case study of a business being successful after getting hit. I don't know why I switched screens. Getting hit, but basically immutable backups are backups files that cannot be altered. Like basically the right flag has been removed from the files. So you can't delete them. You can't modify them. You can't edit them. Those are what immutable backups are. And it's one control around defending from ransomware. Because here's the thing, ransomware, one of the first things they do when they start detonating is they go look at like your shadow copies, or they look up your backups, so they try to find where your restoration capabilities are, and they delete those first. Then they encrypt all your gear. And that way you can't restore from backups, which totally sucks. Immutable backups, they cannot do it, right? I mean, immutable backups are fine. I don't know any example. Like when you pay the ransom, here's the deal too, by the way. When you get ransomware and you got to pay the ransom, it's not just about restoring your systems. Like, sure, you have the backups, but it might take you 2 weeks to restore from backups. And maybe the ransomware threat actors are saying, hey, 50 grand and we'll give you the keys and you can unlock it today. So now you have the business decision of, well, do we recover from backups for 2 weeks and be down for 2 weeks? And what does it cost us per day in revenue loss versus 50 grand to get the keys? So just having backups doesn't necessarily mean that the threat actors aren't going to win. Unfortunately, it does become a business discussion, a business decision. So, Gerald Lozier. That's right. Phil Stafford says, hey, all, just got my BS in the mail yesterday. Immediately showed it to my kids. Yes. Nice job, Phil Stafford. And way to inspire. Dude, way to inspire your kids. Absolutely. Hard work. Crush it, dude. Love it. Is Wild West Hackin' Fest good for GRC side people? Steph Cluis asks. So Wild West Hackin' Fest is not necessarily bad. Okay, so Wild West Hackin' Fest is not bad for GRC people. It is also not a conference geared for GRC people. There's a variety of different talks. What I would say Wild West Hackin' Fest is good for is for networking, for community, for inspiring, for learning more. You know, I guess Steph Cluis, I would actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I would actually lean forward and say, you know, as a GRC practitioner, you really should be mindful of, you know, how the red sides work and how the blue sides work. And Bo Bullock just did a great technical talk on Graph Runner last year. Jeff McJunkin always has a really great, interesting talk that's a little bit more technical. So while it doesn't necessarily directly apply to the value of a GRC analyst's ability to execute their job, having the situational awareness of what other contemporaries are doing in their respective spaces does make you a more effective GRC analyst. So I wowould say, yes, it's good for that. But really the networking's the bomb, right? Restream bot, Marcos Bensid over on LinkedIn, and he says, I'm new here. Judges, does that qualify as a hashtag first timer? I'm getting a nod from the judges. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal, Marcos. We're going to answer your question in a hot minute, bro. But let's get you a welcome to the party, pal. I was such a train wreck this morning. I didn't even do the first timers. The question is, I'm new here. What's GRC? My bad for the stupid question. Marcos, first off, I hope you're still here, buddy. First off, there is no stupid questions. Absolutely do not apologize or throw shade at yourself, dude. There's no stupid questions in here at all. What is GRC is a phenomenal question, my friend. Okay? GRC, which is like my bread and butter, it's an acronym for governance, risk, and compliance. And essentially, I'm gonna pause the music because I really want to focus in on Marcos here. GRC is governance, risk, and compliance. And when you think of how an information security program works at defending an organization, a lot of times we think of the SOC analyst, right? The IR people who are sitting there looking at, the wire, hacking on the keyboard, protecting the organization. Oh no, like they're rerouting through Friendster. We're going to have to get in there, shut it down, like bloop, like alerts, right? But take a step back. Like, what is the information security program? What technical controls do we have? What administrative controls do we have? Like, if someone gets hired at the company, they have to get a new account. HR has to approve them. They have to be given a multi-factor thing. They have to be trained. Like, that's the administrative controls. There's physical controls. Is there swipe badge access? Do you have to put your phone in a safe before you enter this, forensics room or secret cleared room or whatever, right? Those are kind of physical controls. The overall holistic picture of an information security program and how you're just making the decisions on where you invest money into certain controls and how you approach getting the business to get on board and enable themselves to do business in a way that is secure. That is where GRC operates. And that's really what GRC is. And so your question, Marcos, just a finer point. A chief information security officer, kind of like the big dog over the information security program. You can think of them as a GRC professional. GRC people, they interface with the business. The guy hacking on the keyboard with like the earpiece, being the guy back at the HQ, like deploy the field engineers. We've got to get a forensic sound image of that. Or look at the Yara rules. We've got to do X, Y, and Z. Like, that person doesn't want to talk to Carl. Carl's an end user. That person doesn't want to talk to vendors. That person wants to hack on the keyboard and protect the organization right now tactically. GRC, we're the ones who get to walk in and talk to the business and go meet with the engineering team to understand their challenges, meet with new hires to explain how things are going to work here. That's what GRC does. Marcos, I hope that answers your question. Oh, I love GRC, by the way. Marcos, can you actually do me a solid in chat and comment whether or not that made sense? I feel like that was worth it, but if Marcos asked the question and then closed the tab and I just did all that for nothing, I'm going to be like, oh, mwah, mwah. All right. Jason Summers is going to his first B-sides. Is there anything I physically bring with me, like hard copies of resumes? I was planning to bring a notepad at least. So yes, first of all, I'm going to use this exclamation point conferences that the mod team set up. Thank you. So Jason, look at the link Nightbot just dropped. That is a live stream with Deb Wigley, Base Case, and BSEC on how to maximize a conference. If you want, yes, you could bring some resumes. That's totally cool. Bring a notepad for sure. Bring a good attitude, right? Go meet people, talk to individuals. A lot of times at conferences, there'll be vendor booths. Walk up, say hi, say how you doing. If you attend a talk and it was interesting, go up and talk to the speaker afterwards. Don't just pepper them with questions first. Explain to them why you found their talk interesting and maybe ask them a pointed question about something. And maybe there's an opportunity to collaborate or something like that. But resumes are good. A lot of times you don't need the resume. Unfortunately, because the person that you're talking with doesn't want, if you hand someone a resume, they're like, oh no, I've got to carry this. So a lot of times you might just say, hey, can I connect with you afterwards? And then you exchange business cards and then you send them your resume. You could do that too. Do the hacking hands again. ZMF says, this is the hacking hands. This is hacking. Hey, MW, fairly new here. Fairly new. Does that qualify, judges? I'm getting a couple judges nodding no, but I'm going to overrule. I don't typically veto the judges, but M-Dub, welcome to the party, pal. Marcos is still here. I love it. I love it. Technically, I do. Okay, cool. Is management experience valuable in GRC? Yep, Nick. Management experience is valuable. Really, what's valuable is being able to communicate in GRC. Here's the thing, when you're talking to the business, when you're talking to an executive, when you're talking to like Linda in accounts payable, if you go up to somebody who's not in cybersecurity and you're like, did you see the technical execution of the exploitation of the Screen Connect? We definitely don't want a CVSS score of 9.8 being executed in our environment with the Windows operating system. We're going to have to apply patches in a coordinated. They're just going to be like, who the hell are you? Sorry, Kennedy. Who are you and why are you here? Please leave me alone. But if you're like, Linda, listen, you clicked on an email the other day and the threat, like a criminal got your password to your bank account. You need to fix that. Linda's like, what? That's what you need to do. Like, but you need to be able to effectively communicate like that. Legrat. I know it was the first. Just having fun. All right. I think it's time, guys. Got a lot of work to do still. This has been cathartic. Cathartic? This has been cathartic. I'm a donkey. This has been cathartic. Talking with you guys this morning, launching my personal Friday. Just hanging out with you guys. Hopefully you got value from the Q&As, the AMAs. Great to see Tyler Ramsby in chat. Go check out his YouTube channel at 2 p.m. today. We're going to do a raid. We can coordinate on the Discord server to get that raid going. Shout out to Deb Wigley. Big fan. My pleasure, Phil Stafford. Yeah, Valentino. Cathartic. Say hello to your mother. Grab some scratchies. We'll hit up the town spa and have some Kino. What do you say? Tell your mom I said hi. Tell your mom and dad I said hi. My boy's wicked smart. You know, it's funny. My accent doesn't really come out. I mean, I know I say wicked all the time. My accent doesn't really come out, but if you get a couple beers, and or I'm in Massachusetts, it's it comes out wicked strong, especially if I have beers. You're welcome, Marcos. Again, hey Marcos, come back, bro. Like, there's no stupid questions. Simply Cyber is super supportive, super inclusive. Get some beers. It's too funny. It's too early, Phil Stafford. All right, guys, be good. Oh, hey, so Marcos, the stream starts at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So, hey, if you're new here, if you're hanging out, if you just found us, every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Eastern, we do a 1-hour top cyber news stream. Then from 9 a.m. Eastern to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we do an Ask Me Anything. We call it Jaw Jackin, but it's basically a group hangout where industry experts chill for a half hour and answer questions and share things. It's me 3 days a week. Eric Taylor on Tuesdays and BSEC on Thursdays. Eric Taylor runs a incident response company, and BSEC is basically a super jack of all trades practitioner and a network engineer. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Be well. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. See you guys at 2 for the raid. I'm Jerry, your chat. Until next time, stay secure. I hope you enjoyed the Jaw Jacking. Be sure to check out the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing happening every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., where you can get the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, network with other professionals, and then stay for the Jaw Jacking just like you saw. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. See you in the next one.